I'm confused. Like, really, really confused. They don't do anything at all with the title reference to a harmless video game series, but they go all the way with the title reference of one of the biggest scandals in popular music. Sometimes I don't get these people, especially when they, we'll get to that in a few minutes. Something that took me by surprise was people claiming that it was futile to try to sort through Pinkie's character because she's, Pinkie Pie. When we don't do that, we get things like, I said I'll get to it in a minute, Jesus Christ! Why do you people think I like talking about whether a character in one of my favorite shows was written correctly? It's not fun, and I shouldn't have to do this. I'm not the only one who thinks that, right? And I definitely shouldn't have to write essays on this crap either. The episode starts in G3, which gets Fluttershy to sing about how wonderful things are.
What is this place filled with so many wonders?
Yeah, kinda like that. Suddenly our friends are surprised that Fluttershy was actually singing an amazing solo. I guess all of those other times didn't count. Who knows, maybe she's been practicing and sounds better than usual. I don't care. It's a setup that would have worked better with Sweetie Belle, but I can buy it here.
It was like a little slice of heaven.
Huh, so ponies do have religion. That'll be fun. Rarity tries to get Fluttershy to join the Ponytones Quartet, and now we talk about Pinkie. Oh boy, let's talk about Pinkie.
With every pony staring at you, judging you, jealously noting how they could be way better than you. They'll turn on you, becoming a seething, angry mob. You'll be horribly humiliated, never able to show your face in Ponyville again!
For $1 million, you are to answer whether or not Pinkie is in character in this particular instance.
You know what? No.
So, she's not in character then. Is that your final answer?
No, because I'm not going to answer the question because I don't fucking care. That's not the problem here. The problem is not whether she's in character or not in character, it's that it's too mean-spirited. It's like Pinkie's appearance in Luna Eclipsed and the Super Speedy Setter Squeezy 6000, except worse. In those two episodes, Pinkie was at least getting something out of what she was doing. Here, there was absolutely no provocation, and not even the aspect of self-gratification. You see the problem, right? Yep, because that makes this okay. And because Babs got bullied in Manhattan, it made all of this okay. And because Fluttershy listened to Iron Will, it made all of this okay. And because Rainbow Dash was arrogant, it made the actions of the rest of the main six okay. There's a difference between explaining someone's actions and justifying someone's actions. You know, like maybe some regret on Pinkie's part throughout any part of this episode would. You know, like regretting that she failed to make Rainbow happy in Amy's last episode.
Pinkie Pie! Don't be ridiculous!
She's not a dog! And Fluttershy actually stands up to Rarity, showing some real character growth. Fluttershy admits that she has stage fright to the surprise of no one except Pinkie, who thinks it's a disease. Okay, alright. This is Pinkie's likability profile. Whether flanderizing her is possible or not, I don't think you can argue that it's not impossible to make her unlikable. I know that I'm dwelling on this, but it's kind of disheartening to know that the writers think that this kind of stuff is justifiable. You know that you made a character too stupid when what they're doing could not conceivably have a positive outcome.
They loved seeing me, the real Pinkie. Show them a time of their lives like they never known.
Yeah, you hear that? Pinkie wants to be written correctly too. The funny thing, or I guess the tragic thing, is that Pinkie doesn't even really contribute to the plot of the episode. She could be written out entirely, and we'd have solely great moments, like Fluttershy learning her lesson from bats, and her friends actually understanding personal space. So later we see that the Ponytones are practicing, and we see the extent of Fluttershy's stage fright.
Yes, it is wonderful when a plan comes together without any sort of drama, isn't it?
Now, the next day we see that Big Mac lost his voice for doing something called turkey calling, and apparently Pinkie won it. Hey, a good Pinkie moment. The joke works because it was Big Mac's own damn fault that he heard his voice. And they can't call it in or else the fundraiser will be a disaster. They eventually get the idea to go to Sakura for a remedy. Now most people seem to have a problem with ponies just discovering that Fluttershy could sing. I've got a problem with the fact that Sakura could heal teeth instantly, but takes days to heal a sore throat. You know what? I don't understand medicine or magic, so I don't care, it's not important. They eventually decide to use some poison joke to deepen Fluttershy's voice. I don't think poison joke works like that, but whatever. Of course, Fluttershy still doesn't want to appear on stage, so the idea is to have Big Mac lip sync. Yeah, I was actually surprised with how far they went with the reference in this episode. So while Gummy attempts to devour a turkey because alligators are carnivores, the Ponytones get singing, and Big Mac gets lip syncing. And it's really good a cappella music. Good thing too, because it helps bring this episode into my good graces. They get another performance, but it's booked for tomorrow. However, Fluttershy gets them to go. And this episode does make a great parallel between the love of performing and the simultaneous fear of it. And apparently a cappella is the new most popular type of music in Equestria, as everyone wants the Ponytones to perform. What really keeps this party going though, in all seriousness, is that Fluttershy is the one to keep this going. Eventually, Big Mac's voice is healed, but Fluttershy wants to make one final performance. However, she gets a little too rambunctious, knocks over the curtain, and everyone sees her singing. Then the Ponytones become the subject of many gossip columns and the target of over 24 lawsuits. Oh, we're not going that far with the reference, okay. Instead, everyone seems to love her performance. But Fluttershy, oh Jesus Christ, not those again! Anyway, Applejack gets a good joke, and they go after Fluttershy. And then Pinkie Pie starts making some most hated characters lists. King Rogers, there's a difference between overstepping your bounds because you have a hard time reading emotions, and not having the slightest hint of empathy. Once it's an accident, twice cannot be anything other than malicious.
What? Too much?
What I'm doing is wrong, I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And that doesn't count as being regretful. Actually, apologizing or seeking forgiveness counts as being regretful. And spoilers, Pinkie doesn't do any of that in this episode. Accidents don't happen twice, Amy. And I told you guys that continuing this trend would start to hurt. Badly.
What Pinkie meant to say was that you were really great.
Wait, didn't I say that?
Oh, for the love of... And she keeps making it worse. Everything Pinkie says in this episode only makes things worse. Why? Why did Amy Keating Rogers think that that was a good idea? Why did she think that was necessary? That is never necessary. The only thing it does is make Pinkie Pie look like an insensitive jerk. And it's a shame too, because they resolve the conflict beautifully. And even state that stage fright isn't fixed instantly. This episode makes me angry. It makes me angry because it could have been one of the best things that the show has done so far. And in some respects, it was. But Pinkie Pie. You see, most episodes that have a badly characterized Pinkie Pie are nothing special. Without Pinkie Pie, Luna Eclipse would just be another Halloween episode. Without Pinkie Pie, Over a Barrel would have just been an okay episode. Without Pinkie Pie, Filli Vanilli would have been absolutely amazing. Hell, I'd even call it admirable if you know what I'm saying. Maybe Pinkie Pie was in character in this episode, and for once that actually doesn't matter. I define a good character as someone you can relate to, someone you could look up to, or someone that you want to be. The Pinkie that I've come to know in Griffin the Brush Off, Party of One, A Friend Indeed, and Pinkie Pride falls into at least one of those categories despite all of her faults. This, though, before now in Season 4, she was a character you could at least laugh at. This isn't funny, at all, and it sours the whole episode, despite her having less than 2 minutes of screen time. So here's the point where I blame Amy Keating Rogers for doing this despite writing fantastic Pinkie and Pinkie Pride. Well, I have to blame it on something. You know what? For once I'll just blame it on the rain.